We're going to take a look at how we can use Adobe Spark Post to create your graphics and your infographics. So I'm on the Adobe Spark landing page on the dashboard. So what I need to do first of all is click on this plus icon on the top top left side of the page. So once I click on that, I'm going to click on the first option which says Flyer. That will open a blank page then, ready for me to start working on it. Might take a couple of seconds. So here we go, got a blank page in the middle of the screen. Straight away, Adobe Spark is suggesting some templates that I could potentially use to create my graphic. So these templates they're all editable. So I can select this one, for example, with a pumpkin, and I can change text, I can add a couple of extra pictures to it, I can change font and so on, so I can edit that template. What I suggest you do at this point is start a discussion with your pupils, because all of these templates are all sort of top quality infographics. So you can have a discussion with the pupils in terms of what makes them effective. So essentially you've got a bank full of effective models there to discuss what are the most important features of those templates. So they're there for you to use, but I would always suggest that you start from scratch. You start with your blank document or your blank page and you build your graphic up from there. So today, as an example, I'm going to build a poster. This poster is going to advertise a firework party that I'm putting on in a couple of weeks' time. So the first thing I need to do is I need to go to this resize button on the right hand side. And if I click on this button, what I need to decide first of all is what's the size of my infographic going to be. And in terms of sizes, I can create what they call printable sizes, so things I can easily print out. I can create a letter size, poster, card, an A5 page, an A4 page, or an A3 page. So they are all easily printable. If I scroll up a bit, I've got other options, so you might recognize these icons. They are the typical social media icons: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so on. What these allow you to do is create a graphic that's specifically the exact size for posting on Instagram, for posting on Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, and so on. These type of things are used by people we tend to call influencers, so people whose job it is to post messages and videos on social media to try and influence other people's lifestyles. So they would go on here, they would select, for example, an Instagram sized post, they would build their post and they would share that post via Instagram. And this is a type of software that they use to do that. Same goes to recreate the same exact post but in a Facebook sized image. And they would be able to share that image, and that's the most effective way then of communicating information over that particular platform. So that's what they would use, but today I'm going to select poster, and then I think I'm ready to go now. So I've selected my size. The next step is I go on to the layout tab. And again, this is optional, but what this suggests is that I can use a different layout for my poster. So rather than it being just a simple blank page, I can create banners. That means I'm drawing focus to a specific part of the page. I'm drawing the audience eye towards a specific part of my poster. I can create a grid, and if you scroll down the list, there's multiple arrangements for your grid. Again, which make things a bit easier for you in terms of when you start to populate your page. If I select a couple of different things, you can see what it does to the page. I'm going to select the simple one today. I'm going to just have a blank canvas to work on. So once you select your size, once you select your layout, you're then ready to start building your graphic. So as I said, I'm going to focus on advertising a firework party. First thing I need to do is click on this plus icon. This is, by now, you see this icon everywhere. This is the universal symbol for creating or adding something. So if I click on that, and there's 4 things I can add: text, photo, icon, logo. I'm going to start off with a photo because I need a nice photo to be the background of my poster. So I'm going to click on the word photo. I've got two options. I can either upload the photo from my computer or from my iPad, or I can go to find free photos. And this is where I would suggest that you would go usually, because what you will do now is you will search for images that are Creative Commons licensed. This means that they are suitable for reuse. There's no copyright laws protecting you from not using these images. So anything you find here, you're free to use them and share them. So I'm going to look for fireworks. I'm going to type that word in and I'll see what I get. Right, straight away, within a couple of seconds, I get a massive bank of images that I can use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this one. Because this is the first image I select, it'll offer me to pin this to the background or move freely. So by pinning it to the background, I don't have to worry about the ordering, I don't have to worry about moving the background and making a mess of the whole thing. But move freely means I can then move that image anywhere I want on my page. So I'm going to pin this to the background. As you can see, that's done that for me now. All the images that you'll find there are top quality images. And what I mean by that is if you expand an image, it won't get pixelated. So if you think back to the way that we used to work, so we used to go on Google Images and copy and paste an image over and paste that image into something like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Publisher, then we'd expand that image and straight away we'd lose that quality and the image would appear pixelated. And the professionalism of that whole design was completely flawed from the offset. So by using that feature, all the images you'll find will be of top quality and they won't lose their quality if you expand them. So that image is now my background. I can scale it, so that means I can zoom in on a specific part. I can rotate it if you want to add some artistic design to this. I'm just going to leave this as it was. If I'm not happy with it, I can remove it or I can directly replace it with another image. Once I'm happy, I'm just going to click on my page. Right, I'm good. I'm happy to move on with this poster now then. So the next step, I need to add some text to it. So I'm going to click on the add button and I'm going to click on the text button there. So straight away, I can see different layouts, different styles of text that I can include on my poster. I've got an option here to add my text. Firework party. I'm going to click on done. Right, so that's my text. It's just a plain sort of text. I can change font if I want to, so I can completely create the type of text and font that I want by just selecting, the same as you've done with any other word processing or publishing software. As an alternative here, I'm just going to delete that. As an alternative, I'm going to go add text. I'm going to select one of these styles. So for example, I'll try this one. So I'm going to click on that. And I've got this sort of honeycomb style background on text here. So I'm going to just double click on it so I can alter the text itself. I'm going to type firework party. So click on the word done. You can see there's something not quite right here. Firework party. So I can try to expand it, doesn't make a difference. I'll double click on it again and I'll leave a little space there. I can see that that style doesn't really suit because it can't actually fit the word firework in one row. So I'll have to delete that and I'll have to start again. So I'll go back to text and I might choose a different one this time. So I'll try this one. So I'll just change the actual text there. Firework party. There we go, that works better. So I've got that style now as a heading for my poster, fits quite nicely in that corner. If I click on it again, you can add the secondary style or a secondary colour. If I just click on it, you can see that's what the system suggests. It doesn't really work, so I can just click on the bin just to go back to the original and so on. I can change the alignment. I can actually even change the font used within this style. It's completely up to you, but it is all customizable. You can change the size, you can change the spacing between the letters, between the lines, you change the opacity and so on. So it's very, very customizable in terms of what you can do from this point. So the next point for me I would add a couple of other key information such as date, location, time, these type of things that you would need to advertise your party. I'm going to skip that point and I'm going to jump onto this add button again. I'm going to show you a nice feature called icons. So if I click on icon, you've got a huge library within Adobe Spark of icons that you can use. They're all copyright free again. If I type the word firework into the search bar, it'll find me tens if not hundreds of different images and icons that I can use that matches the word firework. So if I want to use this one, all I need to do is click on it, and that would then appear on my page. And it's up to me where I want to place it. I can expand it, and so on. Again, I can change the opacity. But if you do use these icons, it's important to note that there are so many different types of icons that you can have for each keyword search here. So I've got several icons that I can use that matches the word firework. So have a look just to make sure that you use the right one. I can actually spin this around. I'll find one more. Try this one. There we go. So I'm happy with my poster, even though I haven't got much information on it. Just as an example for you now, I'm happy to move ahead with my work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump straight to this Colours tab. And if I go onto the Colours, it's not just a drop-down menu when you select what colour you want. It suggests colour palettes for you. So for example, this is one palette, and this is a combination of 5 colours that Adobe have identified as colours that complement each other. So what you don't want is you don't want a shade of orange for your font for the title and a slightly different shade of orange for your icons. By working within a palette, what this means is any colour on your page will be either one of these 5 colours. So what you'll do most often than not here, you'll click on the palette that you like and you click on the shuffle button. What that does, it alternates the colours that appears on your page to give you a combination of any 2 or 3 of those 5 colours. And it's just a matter sometimes of just clicking on that shuffle button until you're happy with the combination. So I'm going to change it to a different palette here. And I'll just click on that. Okay, I'm quite happy with those choices there, so I'm going to leave that as it is. If you look through the amount of palettes that you've got some nice pastel-like colours here. Then it goes on to some sort of coldish colours and some bold colours, some darker colours and so on. So there's plenty of palettes for you to choose from. It's a different way of working because you haven't got that drop-down menu and you select the colour. But by working from within a palette, it keeps you within some sort of tight boundaries, but it will improve the presentation of your work in the end, because it'll either be a combination, it'll always be a combination of any 2 or 3 of those 5 colours. So once I'm happy with my poster now, then there's one other nice feature I want to draw your attention to, and that's this animation part. So by including an animation, I can, because this is a firework party, I'm going to click on this flicker button, and that means the title is going to flicker just to give that little bit of extra effect. You can choose it to one of these things here to make the text sort of bounce between the first line and the second line of text. You can make it bounce across the letters and so on. So these are all type of features that you can add to your graphic just to draw the audience's attention. So once I'm happy with that, there is another feature. Again, I'd be very wary when you present this to pupils. What you don't want pupils to do is to be overly dependent on this design feature. This is there, it'll be perfect for you as teachers. We want to create something, I don't know, to advertise the school play, for example, or the Christmas concert. It'll be very handy for you, but I'd be very wary using this with pupils. So the design button suggests different types of templates that you can present your information, but in the style of that template. For example, haunted house, costume party. I can click on that. What that does, it uses my information, so the logos, the icons that I've used, the text that I've used, and it presents it in a different style. If I want to change back to my old one, I'll just click on undo. That's my original one. This is something Adobe Spark thinks that looks better. I'll scroll down and have a look for another one. This is a Halloween style one, so click on that, see how that works. So that looks, again, a bit better than the original one that I created. But as I said, what you don't want is children actually designing something and then going to that design button and completely changing what they've done. So as I said, I'll be a bit wary using that with pupils. It's there for you to use, I would imagine, from a teacher's perspective, if you want to share information over Adobe Spark. So that's it. It's a completely different way of presenting information. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm combining graphical aspects with text to create some sort of new way of presenting information. So have a think about it, how you can use this in your classroom, as opposed to jumping straight onto Microsoft Publisher to create a poster. Why not give Adobe Spark Post a go, just to see whether that's suitable for use in your class or not.